Denair, California is a very small community in Stanislaus County, but it's becoming increasingly popular to move there. If you're not familiar with where it's at, that's totally okay. A lot of people aren't. So today we're going to take a look at Denair from an aerial point of view through Google Maps. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn all about living here in the Central Valley of California, then make sure you hit subscribe and tap that bell for notifications so you can be the first one updated. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a realtor based out of Denair, California, and I get calls from people just like you every single day making a move here to the Valley. So whether you're moving right now or in 3 months from now, feel free to reach out to me and I would be happy to go over exactly what it is that you're looking for. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Denair, that's totally okay. A lot of people are not. I've had multiple clients move to Denair from different areas. They had never even heard of it. They actually came looking more at like the Turlock area and then found out that Denair was actually going to be a better fit for them. So to give you a better idea of where we are at on the map, let me zoom out just a little bit, maybe a little more, just give you a better idea. But we have Denair right here, population of around 5,000, so it's a smaller town. And I think of Denair as an extension of Turlock. So all of this is Turlock here. This section right here is considered East Turlock. So to me, Denair is kind of an extension of East Turlock right there. But if you go a little bit more north, here's the 99 freeway that cuts through Turlock. You have Ceres, you have Keys right here. And then if we keep going up this way, we do have Modesto as well too. So if you are familiar with at least any part of Stanislaus County, it's probably Modesto because the population is over 200,000. Biggest city we have here in Stanislaus County. Now, if we go up here too, we have Houston, which is another small town. I'll be doing videos on there in the future at some point as well too. Nice little community. And then if we go the opposite direction, more southern, we actually get into Merced County. So going down this way through the 99, we have Delhi right here. Can't see it because I'm not zoomed in quite enough, but we have Atwater and Merced right after it too. So if you are needing freeway access, we do have the 99 freeway. If you notice, the 99 does not cut through Denair though. So the main freeway goes through Turlock. So you will have to drive a little bit further from Denair to get to the freeway. But the main road that does cut through Denair is Santa Fe Avenue. This is Santa Fe Avenue right here, and that's also where the train runs as well too. So it can get a little busy. Hopefully you do not catch the train when you're trying to get somewhere in a rush because you will be stuck there for a few different minutes. But Denair overall is very centrally located, a little bit further out from the main parts of town. You don't hear that freeway noise, so it can be very convenient with its location. Now, if you are a commuter or even just don't necessarily work in Denair, because a lot of people don't, you're going to want to know how long it's going to take you to some of the main areas. Like I said, there's not a lot going on in Denair when it comes to jobs. It's pretty much all residential. There's not even a lot of shopping or dining. So people go there to live and then they usually work in a different city. So let me zoom out just a little bit to get a better idea of the surrounding areas. So just as a reminder where we are at, it's a little tiny dot here now that we zoomed out a bit is Denair. If you work in Turlock, obviously that one's pretty self-explanatory. You just go right in. I mean, you can get to Turlock and Denair within like 2 minutes, depending on the part that you're going to. If you are going to the further side of Turlock, it's about 10-minute drive if you want to go over to Monte Vista Crossings for shopping and dining. But if you do commute to Modesto here, depending on the part of Modesto that you're going, you can either take Santa Fe up here and cut over, or you can get over, you'll get into Turlock and get on the 99 freeway to go up to Modesto. Again, depends what part you're going to. That's about 25 minutes or so, maybe 30 minutes, depending on the part of Modesto that you're going to. We get a lot of people that work in Modesto and live in Denair, very common. And then we also get some people, if you're traveling over to Merced here, kind of similar situation. You could take Santa Fe once again, cutting through Winton and some of these much, much smaller towns here. Or again, you can go over to Turlock, or even it might even be quicker to go over to Delhi here, hop on the 99 and head south. So there's a lot of different options here. We do usually see it's not as common people living in Denair and commuting to Merced, only because Merced actually is a little bit of a lower price point once you get into Merced County. So it's more common to see people living in Merced County and commuting over to Stanislaus County. However, we do see it occasionally, especially if you just love Denair or have family there. So that's the main closer area if you do work at least kind of in the Central Valley here. We do have as well, though, a lot of commuters that we get going to the Bay Area. Now, I will say, I don't think there's quite as many commuters in Denair versus Modesto or even Turlock, just because you do have to drive a little bit further to get to the freeway. So if you're already spending 4 or 5 hours on a road every single day, depending on traffic, that extra 15 minutes getting over the freeway can just feel like a killer at the end of the day. So it is something to keep in mind that we don't see it as often, but it still does happen. So once again, here we're at with Denair, and you could easily get over to San Jose or San Francisco. Again, depending on traffic and what time you work, if you do have to leave during rush hour, between an hour and a half to 2.5 hours, once again, depending on that traffic. So we do get a lot of commuters though. So even if you want to make your way up to Stockton, that's an easy option as well too. Exact same thing as if you're going to Modesto, but instead you just keep on driving on that 99 and you'll get over here to Stockton. So pretty much any place, like any other place here in the Central Valley, very commutable, very convenient location no matter where you want to go. And if you're not commuting and just want to have kind of a fun day trip, it's great to get over to the Bay Area, Santa Cruz over here. And if you want to go the opposite direction, we have Yosemite over here. And just this whole area here is a whole bunch of different national parks, hiking if you're into the mountains, but we also have the beach. So very convenient location. Now, if you are thinking of buying a home in Denair, it's not like some of the bigger cities where there is a ton of different neighborhoods. While there are neighborhoods, the names of the neighborhoods are just not commonly known. So we generally refer to it more as like northern and southern Denair. So to give you an idea of location here, pretty much Santa Fe is right through the middle. So we consider that if you are either northern Denair, you're north of Santa Fe, or if you're southern Denair, you're south of Santa Fe. Now, how Denair is kind of split up is the older section of Denair, some of the older homes you'll find is in the northern section. Now in this northern area, you may be able to find a little bit bigger backyard. It's going to be older though, so maybe not as big of a home. It's a lot more common to see only 2-bedroom homes, 1 bath, maybe 3-bedroom, 1 bath. Of course, we see 3-bedroom and 2 bath, but these are great more for entry level. So we have homes in the higher 300,000s and the 400,000s in this area as well too. A lot of first-time home buyers love this area. I will say, keep in mind though, it's a smaller community, very popular. So when a home comes on the market, especially if it's priced well and it's meant for entry level, your first-time home buyers, it's going to go fairly quick, especially if it's move-in ready. So I have some people that live there and they absolutely love it. Cutest home ever, and it's just perfect area if you're getting started. A lot of my clients' feedback to me is that it's very quiet over there. Minus, sometimes you do hear the train coming through. So make sure you get a home that either has dual pane windows or you plan on investing and upgrading so you don't hear that train noise. But for the most part, they say it's very quiet. Lots of just community, you can see these green spaces, community parks. So if you have dogs or you take kids to the playground, it's just a very residential feeling community. Now, if you do buy a home over in the southern section here, you may get a newer home. We've had a lot of newer subdivisions and developments coming to Denair, and they're actually, LGI Homes is coming and having a grand opening in December of 2025. And they're building, I don't know exactly where it is yet, but I know it's called Monte Vista something. So I'm assuming it's over off of Monte Vista Avenue, somewhere over here. But those homes are going to be bigger lots, which is nice compared to some of the newer developments we've had in the past decade or so, or just kind of smaller backyards. But you're going to get these new homes coming in. I highly recommend looking into these LGI homes and reach out to me and I can get you on their wait list essentially. I already have people interested in actually picking out their lot, picking out the floor plan that they want. So December is coming around quick, but I think they're doing a little bit under 100 homes they're going to be building there. Lot sizes are going to be nice and big, 8,000 to 9,000 square feet on average. Good size homes. I think they're all going to be single story. And LGI as the builder is offering a lot of incentives such as buying down your interest rate, paying for most of your closing costs, not charging you for solar, all of that. So a lot of new development coming to Denair, which is nice. As you can see here, we've got a lot of vacant land. It's a big farmland area. So a lot of this is farmland. And it's nice when we do get some of those vacant areas like over here where they'll be building. So we can start working on this new community. And I foresee Denair, it'll never be as big as Turlock or Modesto, but growing a little by little every single year. It's getting very popular. Now, if you do have children, of course, you're going to want to know about the schools in Denair. I mean, it's a smaller town, so the schools are a little smaller, not as many options, but we will get to elementary school, which actually is one of the top-rated schools in all of Stanislaus County, according to niche.com. So first, I'm going to start with, because we're located actually in Denair here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so you can see here. And you can see we have the middle school and the high school, both public schools, right here in Denair. It's when you're coming in from Turlock, if you're either taking Zering or Monte Vista right here, it's going to be one of the first things that you see when you enter. So smaller schools, nice schools, decent ratings, I believe as well too. If you are looking into school districts, I definitely always recommend going to niche.com or greatschools.org, something like that. Look it up. You can get your own opinion on your own. And there's actually real reviews from other parents and students. But one of the great things about living in Denair is it actually has one of the top rated elementary schools and middle schools in all of Stanislaus County. It's a little bit further out from the actual city limits, but it's still, it looks farther on a map. It's super close. So if we go here to, along Grattan Road, down here is where Denair is at, and we're continuing up through Grattan. Up here is where we have the Grattan School District. So it's called Grattan Charter School. It serves middle school and elementary. So I think it's 1st through 8th grade. I'm not sure if kindergarten's included or not. Much smaller school, only has about 120 students or so with a 20-to-1 student to teacher ratio. They, year after year, consistently rank super high on their ratings. Very high parent approval rating, very high student success rating, and high test scores as well too. So big benefit if you're a parent living here in Denair. Some people that live in Denair do as well too, is you're so close to Turlock. Sometimes you can get, I don't know exactly how it works, but some type of inter-district transfer, and you can actually send your kids to the Turlock school districts. Don't quote me on the exact way to do it. I don't have kids, so I don't know exactly, but I had plenty of friends going to school that actually lived in Denair and came over to Turlock. So over here we have Turlock High School. We have, it's somewhere here, I'm losing my bearings here. It's somewhere over here. We have Dutcher Middle School, and then right over here we have Julian Elementary. So those are pretty common ones to go to. But of course, that's just a few. There's a lot of other schools throughout Turlock. So look into that. If you are living in Denair but want your kid to go to a Turlock school district, that's an option as well. Now, if you're living in Denair and you're curious about what is there to do there when it comes to shopping, dining, and entertainment, the answer is not much. I'll be honest with you. Like I've mentioned multiple times throughout this video, it's known as a residential town. There's not a lot of going on when it comes to entertainment, dining, and shopping, but you're super close to Turlock. Within Denair itself, though, they have a cute little main street running through here, and it has a few eateries. It has a nice little coffee shop. I think a couple, not big grocery stores, but small little markets. So if it's late in the evening, you just want to pop over and grab something really quick, they have those. But there's not a lot going on. I think there's a couple food trucks over here somewhere as well, too. What your best bet is, well, before I move over to Turlock, is they do sometimes have community events there. I think they have a farm show, but it's not like every weekend. It's not that often. What your best bet is coming over here to Turlock. So when you're leaving Denair, come down Monte Vista. This will take you all the way over to the Monte Vista Crossings area, which is over here. And that's our main shopping area. So we have stores like TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Ross, Target. Clearly I'm listing all the ones that are my favorite stores, but there's other places too. I think there's a Dick's Sporting Goods, Kohl's, just a whole bunch of big chain stores. And there's a lot of chain eateries there as well too. Now, if you want to go a little bit more local, over here we have downtown Turlock, which again, super close to Denair. You can get over there in less than 10 minutes. And that's where you have a lot of more local family-owned restaurants. They're all fantastic. I don't think I've been to a single restaurant in downtown Turlock that I did not like. But there's a lot of great eateries, a lot of local boutique stores as well too. So if you want to shop local, that's a great option as well. Then when it comes to entertainment, of course, in downtown Turlock, there's always the most events going on. So along Main Street on weekends, Saturdays, I believe, in the morning, they have our farmers markets. And then, of course, there's sporadically events throughout the year. So when it gets closer to the holidays, we have a Christmas parade, we have a tree lighting ceremony, and there's always a lot of vendors, local food trucks, and places to visit. So your best bet when you're in Denair is to go over to Turlock. Now, your other option as well, too, because again, Turlock it's much bigger in comparison to Denair, but it's still not a very big town or city. It's only 70 to 80,000 in population. So your other best bet is going over to Modesto. Like I mentioned, Modesto is the biggest city in all of Stanislaus County. So of course, it's the biggest. It's going to have the most events going on. In downtown Modesto here, there's a really nice downtown, lots of little shops, eateries, restaurants. Definitely, they're all really good as well, checking out most of them. And there's always more events going on. As well as if you enjoy nightlife, there's more bars and kind of clubs that are open later as well too. So there's just usually something going on. You'll have to drive a little bit further here. But realistically, your best bet living in Denair is coming over to Turlock. Because like I said, to me, in my eyes, Denair is just an extension of Turlock. It's just extra housing, but they decided to not name it Turlock. That's just my opinion with it, but that's your best bet. So as you can see from this video, Denair is a very small community, mostly residential, but it really is a great and popular place to move, especially if maybe you don't want to be directly in a larger town or city like Merced, like Modesto, Turlock. It's just a lot quieter. Like I said, I have a lot of clients that love living there. If you do live in Denair, I would love to know your thoughts, or if you are interested in moving to Denair or any of the surrounding communities, feel free to send me a text or give me a call, and I would be happy to go over all of your options with you. Till next time, hope to show you around the valley.